it's just a tremendous honor, you know, and just feeling it's hard to explain inside when you see so many great former Wolverines in one room, people that you coach, people that you see play, people that you develop relationships over the years, you know, and speaking on behalf of the college, I cannot even begin to tell you how proud we are of you and the successes that you've had in your life representing this institution. I'll tell you what, did you guys see it? It looked like bologna and cheese sandwiches over there, little. I'm a bologna and cheese sandwich guy. I got here late for practice. I know that we've gone when we're done, but I was pretty impressed. Before we get started tonight, there are a few people I wanted to just take a second to introduce, and even before that, I'd like just to publicly thank our selection committee, which is made up of Coach Tracy Short, who's right here in the audience, Steve Kramer, our sports information director, who's in the back with a camera in his hand, Richie Bradley, who is an alumnus of Wesley College, Nikki Benton, who is an alumnus of Wesley College, Jack Fisher, who was a former coach at Wesley, Jason Bowen, who was a former coach and a former sports reporter, Kathy Biglin, a former alumni, and Kurt Hahn, former alumni. And I think that they have done a great job this year with 13 outstanding honorees. In our audience tonight, we have a couple of our coaches. I wanted to have Coach Abasa stand up. I know Jerry's here. Jerry, you wave your hand. I'm the basketball coach. Coach is a member of the Hall of Fame. Amy LaFleur, our women's lacrosse coach. Coach Rick McCall, our men's tennis coach. Tennis is to me. Our men's golf coach. And I saw Coach Reed here, Coach Bob Reed. Coach Reed, where'd you at? He is here somewhere. When he gets here, we'll embarrass him out and say hi to everybody. And of course, Coach Wentworth. Coach Wentworth's here. It's great to have you guys with us. As we get started, I'd like to take a second before we get started and introduce Dr. William Johnson. First of all, opening remarks. Dr. Johnson.
Thanks, Coach. Coach is up there perspiring just a little bit. I haven't seen him with perspire like that or had that much water since he did the ALS ice bucket. They got him good. Let me tell you, the team really got it. Some of us, some others of us that participated in that got it, but I think they really enjoyed getting to coach that day. It's been said, but I truly want to congratulate the inductees this evening and all, and thank you for the families that are here this evening. This is a great weekend as we celebrate homecoming and have hundreds of our alumni back this weekend. Coach said it, but I tell you, I'm very, very proud of the coaches we have at Wesley College. They're not only interested in the wins and losses, but I'll tell you, they care for our students as individuals and the education they receive, and they also keep in touch after they graduate. Now, you don't find that everywhere. And I'll tell you, this is very, very special, a great characteristic at Wesley. So I think those of you in here, you certainly understand and know what I'm talking about with that. So again, I hope you have a great weekend. I just wanted to basically congratulate the inductees, and I'll be that individually with them too, but it's a great weekend. Thank you very much.
You don't know, Dr. Johnson will be retiring this year, and it's great to work for somebody who you respect and who you love. And Doc, we wish you all the best in the world, and we're looking forward to having a great year with you. As we do this, once you receive your plaque, I ask you to stand up with Dr. Johnson. You'll get your picture taken up on the stage. Point of reference for tomorrow. We'll be introducing everyone at halftime. I know Steve Kramer will be grabbing a little bit later tonight and going over that with you as a group. Our MC for tonight, I'm not an orator or I'm not witty at all, but this young man is. He's our Associate Athletic Director, my assistant coach, Steve Azanese, who was a former quarterback for us, all-conference quarterback for us, former 3 or 4 year starter on the baseball team. We are MC. Coach Az, take over.
Thanks everybody, welcome. This is a great night. We're going to honor 13 former Wolverines on a great career that they had here at Wesley College, and we have a great group, deserving athletes, and we're going to have a lot of fun listening to their stories and talking to them tonight, and it's going to be great. One thing about Wesley, you can feel that in the room. We got over here right from practice, but I was able to go into the reception room, and Wesley is a family, and we talk about a family atmosphere all the time in recruiting, and you can feel it in there. I mean, Wesley is a special place, and we're going to honor 13 special people tonight. Steve also wanted me to mention at halftime, with 2 minutes left in the half, that's when they want all the honorees down on the big scoreboard side of the field in the end zone. Okay, so I'll try to remember it, but just in case. We got Louisiana College on my mind too. So, our first Hall of Famer is James Doran, better known as Taz. Doran played 2 years of football for the Wolverines and was a 2-time all-conference selection. Doran was extremely quick and strong at nose guard, not surprising because he was a Pennsylvania State wrestling champ at heavyweight. Anybody knows Pennsylvania wrestling? That's as good as it gets. He was a leader on one of the best defenses in the country. How good was the defense that year, his freshman year? They faced 2 teams that had running backs that would later play in the NFL. And there wasn't one running back that ran for over 100 yards on that defense. That was a special unit. They won the Coastal Conference that year. After playing in the JUCO All-Star game, Doran finished up his playing career at Lock Haven and was named first-team All-PSAC as a defensive tackle while leading the conference in quarterback pressures. Taz went to Lock Haven with 7 of his Wolverine teammates to play for legendary coach Jack Fisher. Doran will be honored posthumously, and accepting his award will be Jack Banbury, Aaron Doran, his son, and Tom Trento. And I'll let you guys to come forward.
Going to try to make this quick, keep it to at least an hour and a half so we get out of here. I'm sweating probably because I'm in the house of God. But Jim Doran, my uncle. This man, as a young child, I remember looking up on the mantle and I would see all these awards. And he just was inspiring at all times. I remember we were going to go, his beautiful wife Roxy, they were young at the time, and I was making weight because Pop Warner football you have to make a weight. And I had this clothes I made every week. But we were going to go to the movies that night. So me and my brother was in the stands, and we were all going to the movies, and Jimmy goes, "How's your weight?" And I go, "I'm not going to make it 2 times over." So he goes to Roxy, he says, "Well, take Patrick to the movies. I'm taking Jack to the gym." So an hour and a half later, I made weight. I have my son, plays for Temple, he's a walk-on. Went from a walk-on to a full scholar athlete. And everybody asks, where does he get that from? Must be his dad, right? I try to take credit for that. It's Jim Doran. It's everything that man represented came through me to my son. So it's an honor. I'm going to let Tom talk more about the football and the Taz, and Aaron will probably close real quick, but again, it was an honor to stand in front of you, and I congratulate every one of you ball players that have been inducted and athletes that are getting inducted today. It's a great honor. This is a great school, and you all represented it very well. Tom?
Tough act to follow, but I'll be short and sweet. Excuse me if I don't look up. many of us here tonight met Jimmy Durant for the first time on August 19th, 1973, a day that is famous because it was the first day of summer football camp. I guess there's something to be said about practicing football from 7 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night in 95-degree heat and humidity. I guess it makes one stronger, maybe wiser, more mentally tough, and like Coach Andrews used to say, it's a great day for the beach. Jimmy was given his nickname Taz because of his tremendous strength and his tremendous quickness. Taz would not allow himself to be blocked. He was, as Steve said, all Coastal Conference nose tackle his both years at Wesley, and was picked to play in the North-South All-Star game his sophomore year. He was a leader on defense that was nationally ranked and helped Wesley share the Coastal Conference title his first year. Jimmy had a number of Division I opportunities after he left Wesley, but chose to go to Lock Haven and play for his former coach here at Wesley, Jack Fisher. Jimmy left us way too early. He would be with us forever, and we feel his loss every day. On behalf of James Durant, Taz, his family, his wife Roxanne, and Aaron are here tonight, and all his teammates, I would like to end by thanking a few people. First, Coach Bob Andrews. Without a doubt, Coach did his best to make us better football players, but I can honestly say he made me a better person. We want to thank Coach for letting us be part of Wesley College and the Wesley football experience. To Coach Jack Fisher, to our coach, our friend, to our teacher, and without a doubt our mentor, we would like to thank both Coach Jack Fisher and Carol for everything you did for all of us. Your guidance and direction during the days at Wesley and Lock Haven helped us all become successful in life. To Coach Reed, Coach Hinkle, Coach Leone, Coach Bradley, and Coach Lango, thank you for making the Wesley experience so special. And in ending, lastly, we all have things in our life that we'd like to do over, and one of the things I wish I had to do over, I wish I could have told Jimmy how much I loved him before he died, and I wish I could have told Coach Langle how much I loved him before he passed away. Thank you very much.
Such an honor to be up here today. I just now learned that there's apparently some controversy how he got the nickname Taz. I was always under the impression it was because he did the spin move, but I guess that's yet to be settled. I look forward to some lively debate about that before this is all over. I just want to finish up by saying thank you on behalf of the Dorn family. It's truly an honor to be up here, and it's very touching to be invited to this. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Moving over to the links. Jim Gardina, just the fourth golfer to be inducted into the Wesley College Athletic Hall of Fame. Gardina was a three-time All-Pennsylvania Athletic Conference selection and also earned all-region honors. Gardina won 6 individual tournaments. His most memorable was a 2-day tournament in Western Maryland. So I talked to him a couple nights ago and I asked him, what did you shoot? He said he couldn't remember, but he could give me a score if I wanted. So, maybe 65, 66. Gardina was a member of 3 conference championship teams and played on the 2001 team, which placed 18th at the NCAA Division III championships. I know everybody in the room follows Wesley College and knows that year after year you'll see Wesley College in the NCAA playoffs. You know, a lot of coaches that are here right now, whether it's basketball, field hockey, track, football, you name it, Wesley's in the playoffs. Well, it wasn't always that way, okay? The first team since Wesley turned Division III in 1986 to go to the NCAA playoffs, Gardena was a part of in the golf team. So they had a great accomplishment, and it was me talking to them and how important that part of that team was to them, and how special that moment was for Wesley College and our history. Evidently today, okay, he plays with God. Okay, so maybe he can share his score with you. He played with some of his buddies, came back, and I know Paul was there, I know you guys were cheating, so you can tell us the true score. But come on down and get your reward, guys. Let's give it up for Jim Gardena.
Congratulations to all the other inductees. My 4-year golf career at Wesley was some of the best years of my life. I got to play golf almost every day with my teammates who were great friends. Played amazing golf courses, and the golf was great. It doesn't get too much better than that. On top of that, we built a great golf program, and our junior and senior year we went to the national championships. And what an experience that was. So we're very proud of that. There are a few people I want to thank. My mom and dad, Jim and Sue. I appreciate all your support. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here tonight. So thank you, and thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Coach Paul, a few things I want to tell you about Coach is he got some accolades, and a few of those are NCAA Division III Coach of the Year, District 2 Coach of the Year, Mid-Atlantic Coach of the Year, 9 Conference Coaches of the Year, Delaware Sports Hall of Famer. So that's the type of coach that I got to play for. I want to give him a round of applause. What's more important than that, though, Rick, we had so much fun. I mean, the memories we had, the laughs, I'll never forget. And we talk about those every time we're together, and what a great time. So, thanks, Greg. Thanks for being here. Pat, appreciate you coming also. Thank you. Craig, Barbara, Hall of Famer, 2 years ago at Dublin. Craig and I played high school golf together. High school, we never lost a golf match. We were, I think, 145-11. Played college golf together. And today we are still great friends. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for your support. Also, I want to thank my wife, Amy, my son, Kieran, who's picking up the golf game well. He's got his golf shirt on tonight. Great job. And my daughter, Mia, she's swinging the club too. She could be the future Wesley Hall of Famer in golf also. And my sister, Rachel, for coming tonight too. Thank you very much.
Great job, Jim. Our next inductee, John Hensley. Just the second Wesley player to ever hit over 400 for a season. John batted .404 in 1991. Hensley was a standout of the Wolverines during their days as an independent, playing on Wesley Baseball's first ever ECAC championship team in 1992. I hope our football team comes out focused tomorrow. Like John said, his team came out for that 1992 ECAC championship. He talked about how focused they were and determined and to win that first ECAC championship for Wesley College. It was pretty special. Baseball is a great sport. And anybody in the room that's played baseball, when you're hot, it feels really good. And John shared a story with me down in Cocoa Beach. The baseball team would go down to Cocoa Beach for spring break. He went 8 for 9 in his first 3 games. Wow, what an experience that must have been. And it sounds like he had some unbelievable games after that as well. But that might be one of the best 3-game stretches I've ever heard of, 8 for 9. When he left Wesley, he was its all-time leader in steals and walks, while also ranking 2nd in runs scored and 3rd in hits. Very versatile player, anchoring 3rd base, but also playing shortstop and 2nd base, as well as batting leadoff for most of his career. So everyone, John Hensley.
Thank you very much. This is an incredible honor. Coach asked called last night and asked me to have prepared remarks. I'm a bit like Coach Drass as far as the orator skills. My first thought was I should not have dropped public speaking 3 semesters in a row. But briefly, I'd obviously like to thank my family for coming. This is a great school. The sports tradition here is amazing. I'm a local person. I live a block and a half away. I've been fortunate to watch the growth of this institution, the field house, the sports complexes. It's just amazing to see what goes on around here. A lot of it is due to the coaches, Coach Az, Coach Drass. The baseball team's been turned over now. We went through Trip Keister has Major League Baseball experience. Coach Wood now has Major League Baseball experience. Bob Reed, I think he left earlier, but I got an opportunity to talk. You know, Coach Reed, he talks. So he said a lot, I didn't say much. He spoke. Just a huge tradition here. Great times in my life. Coach has referenced the ECAC game. Actually, there was a game before that where we went over and we beat 4th-ranked Johns Hopkins. They were ranked 4th in the country. And a little Delaware school walked in and they thought they would have their way with us. But I was fortunate to play with a lot of great ball players. James Dean, who's in the Hall of Fame. Tom Peniel, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's every bit as qualified to be in. Just great times here, and I was lucky to be a part of some good teams. I appreciate all the accolades. I really thank everyone, and congratulations to all the inductees. Thanks.
John, you still look like you can run a 6'6", 60, man. Our next honorary inductee, Jeremy Jordan, is the only Western football player to be named a 3-time ECAC All-Star, 99, 2000, and 2001. Jordan was also a 3-time All-ACFC selection, won 3 conference titles, and played on the Wolverines' first ever NCAA playoff team. Coach Grass talked about Jeremy. He said J-Rock dominated Salisbury his senior year. Had 13 tackles and he was from sideline to sideline. Other great games. He played one game down at Methodist with a torn bicep. Still played and somehow even had a sack with his bad arm. Talk about a warrior. Jordan left Wesley, ranked 6th in career tackles, and still ranks 8th with 324 tackles. He currently lives in Las Vegas and even coaches his son, who is already on our recruiting board for 2025. So, we'll be on. Come on down, Jeremy.
Just like most of the other inductees up here, I'm not very good in front of people. So we're just going to kind of wing it, try to get through this as quick as possible. Wesley College, big foundation period in my life. Learned a lot here. Had a great coach, a group of great coaches, group of great players I was a part of. And just kind of mind-blowing just to be standing up here in front of you guys with such a great honor. Not really good about talking about myself, but I'll let Az do that. He did a great job. I just, I love the game of football. Continue to coach, build up these young players, coaching the fundamentals just like I was coached. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for God himself. My mom's back in the back row. eyes filled with tears when you see your son up here. Just amazed at all the love and appreciation that's here in this room. Thank you so much for giving me this honor. I don't really say thank you, Coach Drass, for molding me into the player that I am. The coach that I'm going to be. Just thank you so much.
We're going to have to thank you tomorrow, Jeremy. If Steve Caruso, if anybody's coming, hopefully everybody's at the game, number 88, best receiver in Division III. If he gets into the end zone, we're going to have to thank him because Jeremy's our first of many great Wesley High School football players in Southern Maryland. Jeremy came and they just kept coming after that. Chris May, Steve Caruso, and multiple guys on the team right now. And he started that. He came from a great program and he had a great career here at Wesley. Next up, Harpur Newtown Pride, Jimmy Kostak. Kostak was a two-sport athlete for the Wolverines in football and lacrosse. In football, Kostak was a three-time first-team All-ACFC selection and received all-region honors twice. While starting at cornerback, Kostak was a member of the 3 ACFC championship teams and played on Wesley's first ever NCAA playoff team. In that game, down in Texas against Trinity, Kaz had his first interception. Wouldn't be his last. He'd have very many more passes defended though. You'll hear about that later. Kaz, he was also selected to play in the Division III All-Star game, which is called the Aztec Bowl. It's a huge honor for any Division III football player. Kostak ranks second all-time in NCAA Division III history in passes defended, which is an unbelievable stat. I mean, just to give you an idea, people would try to throw Kaz's way. I never saw him out of position. I mean, he was just an unbelievable football player. But it didn't end with just football. Kostak was a 4-time first-team All-PAC. PAC was the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference that Wesley competed in, selection in lacrosse, and recipient of the 2003 PAC Player of the Year Award. He was a dominant defender on Wesley's 2000 ECAC championship team. I was lucky that after my baseball career was over, the lacrosse team let me hang out with them a little bit for a spring and didn't know much about lacrosse. And I'm watching Jimmy, he was a freshman when I was a senior, and I'm watching him play. And he was a long pole for the lacrosse ladies and guys out there. And it seemed like every ground ball he got. And if it was on a face-off, he would get the ground ball and he would go down and score. And I remember thinking, I don't see anybody else doing that, really. And anybody who played, anybody on our team was doing that. So you could tell he was a special guy. And it was great. I had a chance to coach him too. First year coaching here at Wesley in 2002. And wow, what a special player. Okay, so come on down to the Costa.
First, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees. It's an honor to be up here with you guys and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you to the committee, Wesley College. Real quick to touch base on Az. So, my freshman year, I'm a young 18-year-old kid coming in, and I was able to play lacrosse, and Az came about a week into the season, and he was about 35 at the time. So, I don't know if he was a senior or coach Trevor Love, so me and Az go back, and thank you for his kind words. I appreciate that. Coach Driggs is hands down the best football coach in the country. And if people know that, the publicity's out there, and the record speaks for itself. It was an honor to play for the coach, and thank you for the opportunity. I know, my situation started a little different. Before I came to college, I had Lyme disease, and I called coach. It was the hardest thing to do because I wasn't prepared for football. I was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks for the disease, and it was 2 months before football season started as a freshman. Not a big guy as it is, and I had to make that call to coach, and
right away, Coach was just 100% support. Get healthy, you'll be available next year, medical redshirt, and that's exactly what I did. And, that medical redshirt really helped me and jumpstart my career, and it gave me an opportunity to play with an unbelievable group of guys. A couple of guys here tonight that I also would like to recognize. Jeremy Jordan, who was just up here, J-Rock, captain of our defense, and just unbelievable talent. Mike Simpson, call him Pops, because he wasn't in the 30s like Az, but he was probably late 20s. But, excellent player, and taught me a lot. And Rocky Myers, we'll hear plenty about him. I'm sure you already had. Quick story about Rocky and I. We got to play in the secondary for 3 straight years together, and it was it was amazing. My sophomore year, it was right after all the older guys left, and we just finished the first year of the NCAA playoffs in Texas, like I was just saying. And I had my first interception down in Texas. Feeling strong, on top of the world. So we come into camp, and I'm the leader of the secondary now as a sophomore. And a few days in the camp, I hear we're getting a transfer from the University of Delaware, and he's he's a D-back. So the competitive part of me is like, wow, this is good, this is good. Keep me on top of my game, but he might be coming to play corner. And we already had another good corner, but no, it was getting Rocky on it. It was Rocky Myers that came from the University of Delaware, and it was a blessing because the smartest kid I've ever come across, and no one knows the game inside out when we're on the field at Rocky, part of the coach group, and we had an excellent career together. Like Coach Knapp, excellent coach, offensive coach. So he wasn't a man of many words. If you were on the defensive side, if you were on the dark side, but when he spoke to you, you knew it was important. And a few people I'd like to thank, my parents that were here. 2 of my biggest fans. They were every game for, I play, and like Coach I said, I play football and lacrosse, so they were traveling in the fall and then the spring. So every game as far as Florida, Texas, Maine, all over the place. So thank you guys, Mom and Dad, love you guys. Another person I'd like to recognize tonight is my nephew Tyler. 16 years old, he's a junior in high school right now, and he's here. He was one of my big fans as he was growing up. Now he's 16 years old, playing lacrosse and football. Now I'm his biggest fan. And he's already 16 years old. He's already verbally committed to play Division I lacrosse. So congratulations, best of luck to you. My 2 kids. Sophie and Evan, love you guys. Dream big and go after your dreams. My wife Martha. We've been together since high school and still together, married, 2 kids, and I love you. My in-laws, you guys are excellent. Thank you for all the support. Also, one of the guys not here, Coach Berman, he was my lacrosse coach when I came in here. He was on my coach for 2 years, but excellent guy, taught me a lot. The honor to be up here to have played 4 years of lacrosse, 4 years of football for 2 excellent programs, an excellent college. And to see where Wesley College football is now, it's a powerhouse. All I do is talk football to everyone. No matter who I talk to, if I'm with Wawa, the gas station, I'm talking football, and people know who Wesley are. They know who Coach Dreas is, and you, Coach, you put them on the map. Congratulations on all the success, and just get a stag going back here soon. And I'm just going to, one quick story. It was funny because same thing. I was talking to Az all week, and put together a few quick words. And I'm not a great public speaker, but there's a few things I wanted to say. Recognize a few people, and one of the biggest seniors that I looked up to was Andre Summers. He happens to be here tonight. He was a senior my freshman year, after my medical freshman year, and he was a safety, all-American safety. And I remember we went to a camp, and like I said, I led the country in passing and defending, but that's breakups and interceptions. But the thing people don't realize when they read the record book is, all of them were pass breakups, but I couldn't catch. But quick story with Andre. So one of the games when I was a nickelback my freshman year, one of his gloves ripped. I was tapping somebody ripped his gloves. So I said, "Coach, give me a glove." So I gave him one of my left gloves. So he had one of his gloves, one of my gloves, and Andre caught everything. That's why he was an All-American. And ball right to him in the secondary, he went up and just dropped it. So until this day, as soon as I saw the night, he goes, "You know, you cost me an interception." But inductees, and Coach Reyes, thank you for everything.
In case you guys are wondering, guys can still play too. A couple Summer League Delco championships. And it's not Summer League what you think it is, okay? He's playing against college guys that come home and they're playing for the summer to stay in shape, and he's still running around with those guys. He did tell me though, his stick skills are still elite. I mean, the checks he used to throw, I couldn't even, like, what did he just do? How did he just do that? He said he can still throw those checks. Okay, but he's smart now. He said he doesn't run down and score anymore. He said he passes it to the young guys and lets them do their thing. Great job, guys. Next up, Matt Lindell, a four-time All-Pac selection in cross-country and academic All-Conference. Lindell is Smyrna grad. Lindell is one of just 2 Wolverines to earn All-Conference honors more than once. Hall of Famer Mike Schroeder is the other. Second fastest runner in school history upon graduation. Lindell had many great races in his career, but may have saved his best for last. He finished 8th in his senior year in the PAC championship race and helped his team to a 2nd place finish in the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference. But his most interesting race, I appreciate you sharing this with me, and I'm going to share it with these guys, was up in Marywood, his first race, and he is going hard. He is a half mile from the finish, and he's pushing himself so much that he passes out. Now, it was unfortunate for him, but it may have been a little more unfortunate for the guys behind him because he was going uphill. So he said he just rolled down the hill, taking out one runner after another. True story, that's what he told me. What a great career. Now, interesting enough, Lindell started coaching at Cesar Rodney as a volunteer in indoor and outdoor track because Wesley hadn't started a track team yet. And he really enjoyed the team atmosphere of track and had a lot of success. And he's carried that over, and he's the head coach at Cape Henlopen, where they've had many of their players win state championships. Another very interesting fact. Lindell is using his leadership skills he honed at Wesley as president of the SAC, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, for the whole Pennsylvania Athletic Conference. In his current role as the president of the Capital School District Board of Education. Let's give it up for Matt Lindell.
That is a true story, by the way. Now, the part I didn't tell you was the fact that afterward I ended up in the hospital with Coach Kenton. Coach Kenton's dad, I believe Mr. Schroeder as well. We're in the hospital and they had to take a whole IV to fill me back up again. And I don't remember this, but I ended up sitting in the training room of Marywood, and I'm like, where the heck am I? And I feel like dead weight, like I feel like a 500-pound guy. I couldn't do anything. And apparently I was delirious. I could have had a medal. Like I was crying. Like I could have had a medal. So Coach Kenton got the IV bag and put like 3rd or 4th place on it. I got that at the end of the season at our little awards ceremony. So I didn't leave empty-handed. So. But in all seriousness, first I want to thank the Cape Local School District for having an in-service day today because I was able to work on my speech. But all kidding aside, it's great to be here with a lot of fellow inductees, people I went to college with, and successful people, and then as well as listening to the prior history of Wesley College, or junior college days. It's nice that not every college has that unique experience of blending the junior college experience with four-year college experience. So it's always nice at these events you hear both sides of the stories, and stories that are more interesting than mine, of course. But yeah, I'm humbled by the honor that has being bestowed upon me tonight. And usually, people that know me, I'm not one much for individual honors. I'm usually in it with the team, and it's usually out of character for me to come up here and really talk about myself. But I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk about people that got me here and the sport of cross country itself. And I just start with my coaches. Coach Ken for recruiting me. And each of these guys has helped me. Each of these coaches I'm going to mention has helped me along the way as far as learning bits and pieces of how to be a good coach. And Ken definitely has a sense of humor. The IB bag was case in point. And even though he coached me for 1 year, we're still good friends today. And he instilled, he gave me a shot, and he stuck with me and supported me. It's a big difference moving from the 5K, 3.1 miles in high school, moving to 5 miles. And I came in, I was like the number 4 guy on the team, and then at the conference meet my freshman year, I decided, I suddenly busted out, and made all conference that first year. So that was a real confidence builder, and Coach Ken would a lot of credit for his coaching, getting that jump start even after a rough first meet. And then my next coach, Coach Steve Pickering, another great guy. And he came in very serious, and we were like, oh, we don't know about this guy. But he knew his stuff, and once he got to know us, he opened up, and a great sense he did a good job with us on occasion, and very focused. And I learned a lot about just focusing and how to develop workouts from him as well. So he's another great character that has influenced my coaching today. But the one I would be remiss if I didn't, and this goes back to my high school days. People kind of know me now as like the outgoing, go after, fight for the little guy type of, go after, fight for the underdog type of guy. But when I was in middle school and so forth, I wasn't the most popular. I was usually the last pick. I was picked on. I was bullied, and that's in all seriousness. And my cross country coach, my 8th grade year, Coach Ron Back, and I didn't notice at the time, but he was a Wesley college player. He spent 2 years at Wesley, played baseball, then went to UD, pitched up there as well. And he, 8th grade, he was telling me, you're working hard, and I see you in phys ed, why don't you come out for cross country? I was like, Coach, I want to work on my grades, but I'll come out my sophomore year. And I thought, he probably forget about me and so forth. But I came out my sophomore year, and he remembered me. My mom was with my parents' work to go, during the summer, so they couldn't drive me to practice. And I was like, oh man, I want to be able to do cross country. And I was like bottom of the list in my sophomore year, just like a 25, 26 minute runner, back to pack. And he picked me up every single day. And he had a profound influence on my life. I don't use words lightly, but he definitely saved my life. And for that I'm grateful. And he passed away in 2001. We had conversations all the time about running. He was happy that I was here competing, and he's probably one of the reasons why I can do it. I don't have to have the best team out of the coaching. Give me the guys that are starting out at 24, 25 minutes, and watching them improve. And that's enough for me. And we kind of have a team like that at Cape Pendleton this year, which is great. But he's definitely one that had a profound influence on my life. And in addition to my teammates in college, I would not have been half the runner that I was without Mike Schroeder sitting in the back there, my fellow Hall of Famer. And of course, his dad, who was always there every single meet supporting me. It's almost like I had another set of parents at the meet, the Schroeders, and you could always count on a good party at the end of the season at the Schroeder house. And you just had to surrender your keys, though. That was the only deal. But I think that was fair enough. But great people, and Schroeder was great. He was kind of humbled last year when he received his award. He was one that he would push you into work. Coach Pickering had these watches that he got my senior year, would measure your heart rate, and Pick would set it. So we're running, and we don't love that because it was like a tempo run. So when you heard the beat, you would kind of have to get back into the gear. Well, in the first 2 minutes of the run, Schroeder's like, boom, going, and it's like beep, 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 beep. And it's like, man, am I having a coordinator or something? Just trying to keep up with him. So I either had a choice, either keep up with Mike or just run by myself. So I decided I'm going to keep up with Mike. So, and I figured it worked, he liked Mike, so might as well work there. So, great teammate as well. I wouldn't be half an hour without him pushing me in practice. And then I have to thank my family who's here tonight, my grandparents, my mom, and my in-laws. My daughter Ava, she's probably the one hearing in the back, walking and so forth. She doesn't have a chance. She was at a Polytech play day, my wife coaches field hockey. And she already picked up one of our kid girls came over, she was already carrying a field hockey stick. So I don't have a chance in the fall, I don't think. So maybe I'll get her track in the spring when she gets older. But overall, the one thing I love about cross country is in other sports it's subjective. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you can have a great season, but it's up to other people to decide, are you all conference, are you all state, and so forth. And with cross country, I mean, it's kind of like life. I mean, you can have a great season all year, but if you bomb out the conference meet, you come away with nothing. Or you can be having bad days throughout the season, but if you turn on the conference meet, you're having a good day. No one can take it away from you. It's the watch versus you as an individual. I mean, there's other people out there you're running against, but to be running and contributing to a team, as well as competing against yourself every week and trying to improve, that's something that no referee can take away. You run that race and you've earned it. So, and plus I had the pressure of Coach Pick had this picture of me, a plaque that I have in my classroom today, and each year for that conference went, and he did it as a recruiting tool. And so my junior year, he's like, Matt, you're gonna have to fill these all in. And we kind of odd if you had one blank. People would be like, why is that one blank? So I filled in all four, so that was a great honor. But overall, I mean, as I said in closing, I'm humbled by this honor, and I'll part on these words. And my high school coach, Coach Powell, said, when you climb up that mountain and you get to the top of the mountain, you never want to go back down again. But I'm not done climbing yet, but I think I'll take a few moments at where I am and look down and see where I've come from. And this is one of those nights. And thank you very much, and it's a great honor.
About the rest of the way, root for the Vikings, came kind of low. Next up, State of Delaware, pride of Dover High, Senator Laura McDougal Jennings, arguably the best women's lacrosse player in school history. McDougal was a three-time All-Pac recipient, earning first-team accolades in 2002 and second-team honors in both 2001 and 2003. Also an ECAC All-Star and the 2003 Wesley College Female Athlete of the Year. McDougal held the career and single-season record for points and goals and still holds the single-game record in both categories for the Wolverines. One interesting fact, lacrosse, if you're good right-handed, that's good. If you can score left-handed as well, that's special, okay? And one special goal number 100. Laura's scored her 100th goal left-handed. That was after many hours of training during her time at Wesley. She spent a lot of time honing her skills on the wall and running sprints. She's from here in Dover, Victory Chapel, Route 8. Sounds like she spent a lot of time on the wall there and running telephone poles. She said it didn't matter what kind of weather. And young athletes in the crowd, that's what it takes to reach the level that these athletes have. Twice playing on the United States Upper Atlantic Regional Team, McDougal received recognition by the State House of Representatives for her contributions in development of the sport in our nation's first state. She didn't stop there. Laura continues to be involved with lacrosse. She is the secretary for the Northern California chapter of U.S. Lacrosse, along with the commissioner for the Junior Lacrosse Association in Northern California. She also coached Team Fusion to a 2013 state championship. Come on down, Laura.
The end product, but I just want to read you guys some of the scores really excited to bring, the sports of Kent County into Delaware. I wasn't really doing too well in school. I had kind of, gone astray, and my parents were like, well, you're not leaving the house unless the school functions. So my friend was like, well, let's play lacrosse. So we were having a ball, but these were some of the scores: 21-0, 11-1, 18-0, 10-1, 13-2. So my first year is not what you would call successful. But I had 3 more years of losing. During I really struggled, but it taught me, to love the game, to love the value of competition, to value my opponents, and to learn from those opponents. But most of all, to appreciate those that choose to coach and those that choose to officiate or to be administrators for those that want to become athletes. To those at Wesley, thank you. I learned a lot here. To the coaches in the room, I just want to, on behalf of any athletes that step into your practice, thank you so much for making a difference in our lives. As a coach, I know that I don't always hear the success stories, but you make a difference. And I am the product of someone taking the time out of their day from their families to, be there for someone like me. So to the coaches, thank you. To the officials in the room, I'm now an official. I forgot to tell you about that. I officiate women's lacrosse, and without the officials, if you are an official, you make it happen as well. You are part of the success that we are enjoying today. To my parents, thank you for saying no. A lot of kids probably wouldn't say that, but thank you for saying no. Thank you for all the rides, and thank you for encouraging me on those days when it was, my lone goal on the scoreboard. To my coaches, I have a coach. I had a wrestling coach for high school. He volunteered for us, and to Coach McKenna, thank you for teaching me to face the fear of failure, and that anything worth having is worth the risk. I finally ate the fear. To my sisters, you'd be like, why is your sister your coach? Well, if you know my sister, you know she's a runner. She's a state champion for Dover High for track and field, and she would race me. So thank you to my 2 sisters for all the hours of practice that you helped me with. To the first coach at Wesley, Danielle Gaines, thank you for teaching me to learn from everyone around me. To this day, I'll be playing somewhere, and I'll see somebody do something, and I'm like, I need to go play against them. So I'll match myself up against the best person and figure out what she just did. So thank you to Coach Gaines. To Coach Frost, thank you for teaching me that being an athlete is a gift, and it is our responsibility to share that gift with our community. You have inspired me to continue to give back as a board member, an official, a coach, and a post-collegiate player. To Coach Galore, she was my junior and senior coach, one of my only coaches that I had for more than 2 years. It was here at Wesley. Thank you for taking a chance on a player that was accustomed to winning on sheer brawn and teaching me the next level of lacrosse. Even now when I coach, I remind players that lacrosse is a team sport, and without a supporting cast, even the best players will fail. To the Wesley board, thank you for adding a sport that they felt would not do well. I know that you guys were throwing that around. I think Mike Grasp is here. It amazes me the impact that it has had on my life. I learn more about myself the longer I stay involved in its development. I have learned to be a leader by example, how to conquer adversity, how to design and execute plans, to network my resources, to encourage and motivate others, and most of all, that if you have the courage to follow your dreams, anything is possible. So thank you very much for making this happen.
Going Dave Lacrosse is lucky to have him, true ambassador for the sport. Speaking of lucky to have, Like all of you here, Wesley is lucky to have everyone choose Wesley College to further your education. Next up, Rocky Myers. We're lucky to have Rocky as one of our alumni. The 2004 NCAA Division III Player of the Year. Myers won the Gallardi Trophy. Myers is the only defensive player or member of an East Coast team to ever win the prestigious Gallardi Trophy. Also a National Football Foundation Hall of Fame Scholar Athlete Award winner. Myers is a two-time D3Football.com All-American and is the only Wesley player to twice named AP Little All-American. AP Little goes out to Division III, Division II, and NAIA. So it's over 400 schools competing. So that's a big honor, AP Little All-American. He had many unbelievable games. Coach Strauss told me about a few. Okay, I can list the whole list here. But Salisbury, his freshman year, he had 3 interceptions, taking 1 back for a touchdown, 2 fumble recoveries. 1 game against Ferrum, he even played both ways, offense and defense. Myers is currently ranked 2nd at Wesley with 436 tackles and 16 interceptions, and is the namesake for the NCAA Division III Secondary Player of the Year. And Rocky's also a part of every recruit's experience at Wesley College. For us, it's almost like Groundhog's Day because it's the same thing. You know, every day we have recruits in. But for the recruits, it's their first time hearing about a very important part of Wesley College history. So the way the day goes, part of the day they'll come into the football office and we'll bring them to the living room. And before Coach Strauss comes in for his entrance, which is also a big part of their day, we tell them about Rocky. And we have a picture on the wall. And when they walk into Coach Strauss's office, there's a replica of the Gallardi Trophy, which I had to move when we moved our office, which might be the heaviest trophy I've ever carried. Rocky, I'm sure you know, because you've probably moved it before as well. But we tell them, here's a guy who had excellence on the field, but he also had excellence in the classroom. And Rocky graduated with a 4.0 in biology, and we tell him all the success that I told you about that he had in football. And we talk about how he won all these scholarships and went off to law school. And sometime in law school, the movie Invincible came out, and they had a casting, and Rocky made the movie Invincible. And it was so exciting. My wife and I went to go see the movie, and there's a shot of the screen of Rocky. It's a close-up right of Rocky. And it's one of Dick Vermeil's speeches, and everybody's in the movie theater just listening to Coach Vermeil's speech, and Rocky comes up on the screen, and we're hitting each other like, yeah! Everybody's looking at us, but Dick Vermeil didn't even say the punchline yet. And we were real excited to see Rocky doing that, and he got the itch. And we're real proud of him. Moved to Hollywood. What you're telling me is that he's the smartest actor model you will ever meet. With a biology degree and a law degree. And then we tell them about the commercial you've been in. I know they love that. So maybe some of the recruits that we pull in, we can thank you, Rocky, for your part of Wesley College history. And it's been a great one. Rocky Myers, ladies and gentlemen.
It's an honor to be here tonight, as all the other introductions said. As we go along this story, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but it brought back a memory about Invincible opening up in the theater. We went opening night, of course, big family event, and obviously it's pretty exciting. Didn't know anybody, everybody won. And obviously, the person who was most excited was my mother. And this is no lie. She was so excited, right? The movie had not started yet. And they absolutely had to bring in security and an usher. Because people started complaining about how loud people were being in the theater. It was our road to my mother. That's not true. So, obviously, anything I do now is just like, she's hysterical. I get that fun with that because I teach her best all the time. But, anyway, absolutely honored to be here tonight. I've been surrounded by great athletes, great coaches, great people my entire life. And no doubt that's why I'm up here today. It starts with my family, and it starts with my parents. Couldn't have asked for more supportive parents and more loving parents than the two sitting right there. My father coached me from a young age, coached all my brothers. Knowledge of the game, love for the game, football, basketball, baseball, whatever we were doing, he was there, he was involved. My mom was right there as well. I can only hope to be the type of parent they were who made my brothers today. So I thank you for that. My brothers, I was the youngest of 4 brothers. My parents, I had another one too. So right there, Andre, GR, Robbie, Golden, Andre. I grew up around great athletes. And I was the youngest of them. I was the littlest guy, I was the smallest, I was the weakest, I was the slowest. And yet, they let me, I always had the opportunity to play with them. And what an advantage I think it gave me to be up there with these guys who all were great athletes, all high school stars, college stars. They heard Andre was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year, All American safety. And my brother played, University of North, played minor league baseball, Golden, maybe the best high school quarterback I've ever seen. To see these guys, every day, allow me to compete with them and learn from them was just an unbelievable advantage for me. And I know that, without a doubt, made me the player that I was. And then it was just family, it was friends too. As Jimmy mentioned, we played 3 years ago, and we played with Michael Simpson. And Michael was one of our family friends growing up, and so it was him and other friends as well who I just had the opportunity to be around, and it was. Gave me all the advantage in the world. And then obviously when I got to be older, I went to high school and college, and the guys weren't bigger anymore, they weren't stronger. They were still faster, unfortunately. But Jimmy, don't laugh, because Jimmy and I have a lot in common. Right? Don't let Jimmy fool you, okay? Not only did we play 3 years of college together and play in the secondary, but we're probably the 2 slowest D-backs ever played at Wesley as well. All right? I know Coach Drass, that first year when I transferred, he must have looked at that for that first game and been like, man, what am I going to do with these 2 guys? How am I going to hide these 2 guys in the field every day? But obviously we made up for it other ways. But no, it just, being around those guys growing up, being around my family, friends, it made me the player that I was. And so I have to thank them for that. And I wouldn't be here tonight without them. So thank you. And then, as I said, I've been on great athletes, great coaches, great players. It continued as I went to Wesley. Coach Grass. As Jimmy said, as Jimmy Brewer said, couldn't ask for a greater coach. Has done something so special here at Wesley, built a program with him and his other coaches that is one of the best in the country now. And not only did I get to have Coach Grass as my head coach, but I was fortunate enough to have him as my position coach my last 3 seasons. So every day, I got to learn from Coach Grass and be in meetings with him every day and watch film and, so to learn from the best, every day was such an advantage as well. And then the players that I played with, as Jimmy mentioned. I think Jimmy stole my speech, by the way. I'm serious. I was scrambling and jotting notes down, and I had a speech all prepared. I think I dropped it. He must have picked it up. He said everything I was saying. But, no, it's true. There's, with Jimmy, Michael Simpson, Jeremy Jordan, you're surrounded by great players, and it's just going to elevate your game, to be better. And as Jimmy said, it was such a special thing because I played here for 4 years. For 2 years, we had Jimmy, Michael, myself in the secondary, and then Jimmy and I played for 3 years. By the way, we were all really excited when Michael came back for his 4th senior year. He gave us an extra year. He gave us an extra year to play with Michael. So I don't know, Michael somehow stretched out his career for a long time. It was impressive. But no, it really was. And I remember coming to college. It was funny. In high school, you play offense and defense. We get split up. Offense like one day is the focus, defense is the focus. Other days just split like 50-50. I remember coming to college and thinking, man, I'm going to play defense all the time. This could be really boring in practice, because it's just only focusing on defense every day, 2.5 hours. But honestly, I loved it, and I loved it because of Coach Grass. I loved it because of Jimmy and Michael Simpson, and getting to be with those guys all day, every day. Jeremy Jordan, guys like him. Every day, playing with those guys, the defense is becoming more intricate and just do just more creative stuff. And it was fun. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Coach Jazz called me the other day and was like, "Hey, is there any?" I'm gonna let you behind the curtain. He didn't get all that stuff from Coach Grass, but he did call me about like, "Hey, is there any games or like moments that stuck out in your mind?" And I didn't think about it. And I was talking to you. I hadn't thought about this for a while. I don't know. It's been 10 years, unfortunately. And eventually some stuff came up. But it took me a minute to really think about those games. And the reason was, is when I think back at my time here at Wesley, I don't think about those games. I think for one, I think as a player, a lot of times you think about the things you didn't do, like the plays you missed. You know, I still remember coming up my freshman year against Rowan, and Scotty Lipper was catching a little inside screen, like receiver screen, and me coming up and going after him and catching up in the grass. Like, just throwing out. I mean, you remember things like that. But the other thing is, when I think about Wesley, the real reason is, I think about the people. And I think about Coach Grass and Coach Knapp and Coach Hasley. I think about the players that I played with. And that just sticks out in my mind. And that's why it's always such a pleasure to come home to to Delaware and come watch Wesley play and still see Coach Grass on the sideline, Coach Hasley out there coaching, Coach Knapp, see some of the guys that I played with. That's the stuff that sticks out in my mind and feels special. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. Thank you again to my family. We're all here tonight, as well as my girlfriend Erin, who made the trip from California with me. It's a real honor, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you to the selection committee, and congratulations to all of you.
Great job, Rocky. Now I feel lucky, okay, because Wesley's been a big part of my life as it has in your lives. And I feel lucky when I get a chance to interact with an athlete that played here in the junior college era. You know, my high school coach played here for Wesley College in 66 and 67. He was actually Coach Kabas's roommate, which is pretty neat. But during our golf outing, we get to interact with a lot of the guys that played here in the junior college era. And I felt bad, Gary. I didn't want to stop talking to you, okay? Because you were a lot of fun to talk to on the phone, and anytime we can get light into the junior college days at Wesley is pretty special because you guys did some great things. Gary Peters is our next inductee, a dual sport athlete at Wesley College during the Wolverines junior college era. Peters was a team captain on the Hall of Fame coach Jim Wentworth's first basketball team in 1963, where he earned all region 15 honors. And Coach Wentworth, who was very humble, okay, would never tell you how great an athlete he was. And I always knew he was, because I actually had him for tennis class at Wesley College way back. And I just remember thinking, man, he just looks like an athlete the way he would play with us. And so I asked Gary, what was Coach like? Because his first year of coaching, what was he like out there? Did he ever shoot around with you guys? He said, Coach, he said, you never missed. He said, and you played during a three-point area, he said, you were like right out. Okay, so I knew it too. I knew Coach. That shot. Leading the basketball team in both scoring and rebounding. Peters was also a member of the baseball team and later attended Union College in Kentucky. Now, Peters was a 6'3" center for Wesley, and he was very tough. How tough was he? Well, they were playing up in Bordentown, New Jersey, and they were playing a team, and it got a little rough out there. Okay, one of his teammates got fouled and went through the gym doors that open up. So, Gary got into a little bit with the guy that made that hard foul. Who was that guy? It was Floyd Little, okay, who was one of the greatest players ever at Syracuse, Pro Football Hall of Fame running back. Okay, so I didn't know And Gary made many baskets at Wesley, often scoring in the 20s. His best shot was when he asked the captain of the cheerleading squad out on the table. And Gary and Nancy have been married for over 51 years. Come on down, Gary.
Yeah, it was fun talking to Steve about some old things that happened. Kind of hard to think back that far. I remember Floyd Little, coach too. I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with my election to the
Wesley Athletic Hall of Fame. It's a super honor, very proud. I really, really love Wesley College. And as Steve said, one of the wife, Nancy here, she was a student at Wesley at the time. She was captain of the cheerleaders, and I was captain of the basketball team. And we've been together, as Steve said, we've been together more than 51 years. We've been married 51 years. We have a wonderful family, 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and a 3-grandchild. So there's been a lot of support for me and Nancy over the years. Basically, what I want to talk about is some of the things we did in basketball. There's a couple that are here with us. In fact, we've been here for the last 3 homecomings, and Bruce and Judy Moyer, they're similar to Nancy and I, where Bruce played on the team with me and for 2 years, and Judy was a student here, and they dated also at the same time, and they've been married a couple years less than that, I think, right, Bruce? But they remain friends, and that's one of the things that Wesley, I think, really, really, truly was. It gave us an opportunity to socialize and be with people, students, faculty, coaches, administrators. We were very small then in the junior college time. It was like one big happy family. And I think Nancy and I, we have, what makes it doubly a pleasure is that we can talk about things we did here and people, and we both knew them because we had the same friends and associates here at Wesley. So that's made these 51 years very pleasant, that we maintain relationships with people that we met here and continue that for our lifetime. Coach Wentworth, that was his first year out of college. In fact, we didn't realize it at the time, but he was only a couple years older than a lot of us. We had a couple guys on the team that were in the service before they came to Wesley, and they were darn near the same age. So he was right out of college, and he was a great coach. And I was 18 years old, and I often think about Coach. He was a pretty strict coach. I don't know if he maintained that strictness his whole career, but he was pretty tough on us. He made us walk the line, and I have to laugh, and we laugh about it. Bruce and I, Coach had a little different philosophy than I did and some of the players. You know, we were 18 years old, and I loved basketball, and I really did like to play and baseball. And the girls would come out to the bus on away games and pick us up right outside Old Main, and Coach would get upset and say, "Think basketball, think basketball." You know, and I think to myself, I got a 3-hour ride to this away game, and if I think about basketball for 3 hours on this bus, I'll be a nervous wreck by the time I get there. I mean, I like girls. You know? So I thought, well, I think 2 or 3 hours about girls, and when we pulled into the parking lot of the away game, I turned it on, and that was the way I played. I played as fierce as anybody in that court, and I think Coach will admit that. But I turned it on when we pulled into visiting parking lot, and I played hard for the whole game. And being a 6'3" center wasn't easy because that's not very tall. Heck, they're point guards now at 6'3", and it was fun, and I loved it. I loved the coach, and we got along well. And it's just a little different philosophy that some people have in how they approach playing the game. Bruce, as I said, played guard, and maybe I should give him a little corner of this plaque because he would feed me the ball. And I think people heard me say, "Bruce, ball in here, Bruce." And I played more underneath in the paint, and Bruce was one of our guards that played, as I say, both years. In fact, Bruce was the best man in our wedding. So that was kind of nice, too. So anyway, the award was great. We loved the school. We still maintain friendships with the people that we met here. And we have many, many, many fine memories, and we stayed in touch with Coach. In fact, one thing that I was honored to do is when they named the gymnasium after Coach Wentworth and his first wife, Cheryl, prior to her death, I was one of the players that was able to speak. He had, I think, about 7 or 8 players from various years and gave a little dedication at the time. And I was very honored being this first team to speak at that dedication of the gymnasium to he and Cheryl. Of course, we know Deb now. I think Cheryl passed away not too long after the dedication. But anyway, thanks, Coach, for everything you've meant to us, Nancy and I, and everybody at Wesley that we appreciate. Thanks again.
How you feel about the corner of the flag? Anytime Coach Reyes wins the Coach of the Year award, he holds it up and he's like, see this spot right here? That's you, man. Next up, the pride of Lake Forest, former Spartan Mike Simpson, a 2002 All-American at strong safety. Simpson was also a 3-time All-ACFC selection and 2-time All-Region recipient. Simpson was also a standout in the classroom, earning academic all-conference honors. Was a member of 2 ACFC championship teams and played on Wesley's first ever NCAA playoff team. Upon graduation, actually before he graduated, he started his career and has had a lot of success with NBA. We'll talk about that in a minute. Simpson ranked 3rd all-time with 49 career tackles for a loss and 12 interceptions, and still sits at an impressive 6 in both categories. Now, Mike is very humble. Okay, talking to him before tonight, he didn't want to talk about himself, and it was pretty awesome to hear, you know, his special moments at Wesley, and the guys here tonight will love this one. Okay, one of the special things for Mike here at Wesley was his buddy, Andre Summers, okay, grew up together, like Rocky said, won the Atlantic Central Football Conference Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in 2001. In 2002, Mike won that same award. In 2003, Rocky won that same award. So that was pretty neat that one of the most special things for him didn't just include himself, it included 2 of his buddies, you know, that he grew up with. Now, my first year coaching, I didn't get to play with Mike, but my first year coaching, Mike was a senior. And Rocky went into a little bit about he had the red shirt year or whatever it's called, so he was able to play that last year as a graduate. So here's a guy that's working on his MBA, full-time, works at MBNA, and he's playing college football. And I just remember our first game of the year against Farron, second play, Mike picks off a pass, takes it back for a touchdown. I just remember thinking, man, I'm glad that guy decided to play this year. He was an unbelievable football player. Now, he's not the only Hall of Famer in his household, though. Okay, so this is a special night for Mike because he's going to be on the same stage, okay, as his wife Stacy, who went in the Hall of Fame here 7 years ago. It's one of the greatest goalies ever in the field hockey program. So now Mike has the bragging rights. He's right there with him. Come on down, Mike Simpson, guys.
So it's funny, I'm not going to talk about myself, but I guess
this kind of person, you know, you can't get a little out, he was so small, aging at the time I was there, it really wasn't that powerful. So then I transferred here, my very first game. You know, Coach Rex, I'm already going through camp like this stuff. You know, my ball will go 120 pounds for season. So, you know, so I know he was a little out there, a lot. So our first game, right before the game, I'm going out and we're going to die real calm. And then the way the locker room set up for him to abandon everything, the visiting team is right on the other side, like a single move. He starts beating him. I won't tell you what he was yelling at. I'm like, man, this dude is crazy. So I read run for a brick wall. I wasn't sure if I was going to play that day. So I expressed the same, you know, words we could grass, definitely phenomenal. Because not as soon as you great. You know, I just like I take that word. So I think I had a good nothing better than that for sure. So thanks for the opportunity to play here. And anybody that was able to prepare anything, so I felt confident with everyone that I do think is actually great. So first to my mom and dad, thank you guys for being here. You know, some of the Rockies in there, so I didn't talk that, and we'll talk about you and then pops. We travel all over the country, no matter what circumstances, you know, we had to get there, he would be there. You know, my mother, when she wasn't there, I know that she wasn't there, she knows, so thank you. You know, my biggest thing, my entire life, my brother, you know, thanks for, you know, being there, always supporting me, you know, every time I meet one of my friends, they're all like, so thank you, I appreciate it. There's my beautiful kids, Larry, Madison, Williams, song back there sleeping, sure everybody heard it. This song has got up 20 times. I love you guys. So sorry with us. So you got Jim. Thank you. You know, you saw, I think it's in my career. And but here's the part where I have to put my struggles that we show around. So as said, it was pretty neat to play. So I got to play both sides of my career. You know, the long man and second man. He does need to put me and also really good videos. I know there was a tackle for all that, and I couldn't do tackles that night. So every time I try to get there, Jerry was doing tackle. So that's why I was going to do tackles. But no, it's still all, you know, thank you. I missed anyone. Was in the bench with Facebook. And I was a piece going on.
Mr. Myers, it must have been some unbelievable backyard games you got to witness with these guys growing up. Wow, what a crew. The next inductee has quite a resume as well. Stephanie Tiberi, earning 5 All-Pac honors with 3 in field hockey and 2 in softball. Tiberi led the field hockey team to 3 Pennsylvania Athletic Conference championships and an NCAA tournament after being named PAC Championship Game MVP in all region in 2004. Named team captain in field hockey twice and once in softball, Tiberi still ranked 7th at Wesley with 19 career assists in field hockey and ranks among softball leaders in several categories. A member of the DIAA Field Hockey Committee, Tiberi coaches both field hockey and softball at Middletown High School after starting the field hockey team at Appoquinimink High School. Tiberi played midfield, where you have to run all over, and was a shooter for corners, which I have 5 sisters, so a couple of my sisters play field hockey. And I know you have to be pretty good if you're the person that's in the corners. And she was also a great pitcher. It's hard to pull some stats out of her, but she's very modest. But she did strike out 13 people in one game against Alberta, which is quite a feat. She's also coached Short's right hand in the summertime, working with Cancel Care for over 12 years, and also was a graduate assistant coach here at Wesley College with Coach Short in the field hockey program. Stephanie Tiberi, come on down.
pitching lessons, and field hockey and softball camps, they always provided what we needed and guided us to our success. As I was searching for the right college my senior year of high school, my mom was set on me attending Wesley College. The idea of a small school, being far enough from home, and importantly to me, being able to play the two sports that I love, field hockey and softball, proved that Wesley was the right fit for me. So like they always say, moms know best, so that situation fit that perfectly. Mom and Dad, I can't thank you enough for your love and support you have always given me. You both will always be my #1 fans, and you have molded me into the person I am today. Whether my games were packed conference games closer to home, or an NCAA tournament game all the way in Vermont, you've always figured out a way to come there and cheer me on. Another very important person in my life was someone that I met my senior year of high school during one of my field hockey games. Following my game, this individual came hopping across the field with crutches after tearing some ligaments in her knee by playing soccer at her field hockey practice. Making that decision to go to this school and be coached in both field hockey and softball by such an amazing person and mentor and coach was a true honor. During my years of playing at Wesley, Coach Tracy Short led my team in field hockey with an overall record of 61-22. And in conference, with my 4 years with Coach Short, we did 40-4. This also included 3 PAC championships and 3 NCAA appearances. Coach Short is someone who instills mental and physical toughness in every athlete that plays for her. She has always been my role model as a coach and one of my dearest friends. Through the assistance of these special individuals, I have reached many, many goals, whether it be athletically, coaching, and or in life. Hard work and dedication is always something that I strive for in everything I do, and I am grateful to now be recognized as a member of the Wesley College Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Great job, Stephanie. I talked to Coach Short earlier. Got it all worked out. Coach Short is in her 20th year, which is pretty awesome. And Stephanie, I think he said 19 weeks?
Yes.
19 weeks. So as long as we get a verbal commitment now that your daughter that is going to go to Wesley, she said she'll hang around for 20 more years. If she's anything like you, she's going to be terrific. Our next inductee won't be able to be here tonight, but I know we'll give him a great round of applause. Bobby Wheeler, a standout in a pair of sports during Wesley's junior college era. Wheeler was a pitcher on the baseball team in our first team all-conference and an all-region honor on the basketball court in 1968, and also was named MVP of the conference tournament with a championship game victory over Baltimore Junior College. Wheeler also earned all-conference honors the following season and went on to play at the University of Baltimore and received the Mason-Dixon Conference Unsung Hero Award. After working in the Philadelphia Police Department for 20 years, Wheeler is now the General Manager at Juniata Golf Course and Executive Director for the Juniata Golf Foundation. Let's give it up for Bobby Wheeler. Last but not least here, okay? Yolanda, if you would have went with Adams to the beginning, we could have had him right up the front, but it's Yolanda Wilkins Adams, okay? And she is as deserving as anybody. What a career. Totaling over 1,200 points at her shooting guard position. Wilkins led Wesley College as the school's all-time leading scorer, receiving the rare distinction of being a 4-time team captain. Wilkins was voted as the team's top defensive player 3 times. Very quick player with a high motor. She led the team to its first ever winning regular season at ECAC tournament 1991 team, and its best season during the Division III era with a 22-3 record in the 1992 and 93 season. And I understand there's some ladies that played with you. Let's give it up for all of them. Scoring a career high 20 points in the ECAC tournament. Wilkins graduated with an impressive 3.2 GPA, and one of the things that you can tell you were probably a great captain and a great leader just talking to you when you talked about, and probably still a great leader, how the team meant so much to you and the relationships meant so much to you. And but that sounds like it was a special group. We got special things at Wesley College. Come on down, Yolanda Wilkins-Adams.
Playing here at Wesley has afforded me a multitude of lifelong friendships, many of whom are here today. I am thankful first to my parents, Alfred and Wayne Wilkins, who afforded me the opportunity to attend Wesley College. They instilled early on that college was not an option, but imperative to my future. To my friends and my high school teammates, Tara Rucker, thank you for coming to support me. To my college teammates, Board President Tracy English, Carla Payne, Rachel Payne, Kenny Wilborn, and fellow Hall of Famer Bill Coleman. We are the foundation of a successful women's basketball program here at Wesley. Our 90 squad ultimately led to better recruiting prospects and a winning program here at the school. At the time, we certainly didn't understand that we were history of the making. One of my most proud basketball moments was the 1993 season when we recorded the first ever winning record at 23-3 in the ECAC. And also during that year, many of us were recognized on the top statistics list as first-time opportunities for the school. A few memories: every game played in the Maryland, D.C. area ended with home-cooked meals at my mom's house, and leftovers were brought back on the bus, but they never made it back to the room. In addition, I can still remember us standing in the gym, waiting to see if we were going to get a berth into the tournament. And when we didn't, how upset we were. But the support we all gave each other bonded us for life. I love you guys. Really. When you receive honors like this, you are reminded that you are a role model. And to my son, Waylon, who is on a full D1 basketball scholarship at St. Bonaventure University, and Brendan, who is just beginning his high school journey, I hope seeing you receive this recognition makes you proud and provides you with yet another example of what you're capable of. I pray you recognize that today doesn't affect your tomorrow. To all the inductees, I'm grateful to be here on this stage. And this recognition clearly acknowledges that you have become the person at Wesley College intended for you to be. Congratulations. To the Wesley staff, I'm truly humbled. God has been very good to me. Thank you.
Before we go, I want to thank Ryan Strain, who is a wide receiver and also plays golf on Coach McCall's golf team. Kinesiology major does a great job here at Wesley College for helping us out tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. We got a great Hall of Fame class, and you guys did special things here at Wesley College, and Wesley College appreciates the fact that you guys chose Wesley to be your home. And thank you very much. Tomorrow, just to remind you, all the Hall of Famers, it's going to be a great game. Okay, so 1 o'clock in the second quarter, as the second quarter starts to wind down, with 2 minutes left, you guys want to be in the end zone by the scoreboard, and that's where you're going to have you guys enter the field to be honored at halftime, which you guys all deserve. And guys, go Strays.
What he just said. Before we go, I would like to to take 1 second. I did introduce Chris Wood, our Vice President for Advancement. Chris, say hi to everybody. And I still would be remiss when I introduced Dr. Johnson. I forgot to introduce his lovely wife, Susan. Susan. I got to say this. I've been in every one of these for I don't know how long. You guys, these were the best speeches by a group of inductees that I have ever heard. So, wow, that was tremendous. Congratulations. Let's beat Louisiana College tomorrow and have a great weekend for all of our athletic teams. We thank you so much. We're very proud of you. Dr. Johnson, thank you for your time and being here tonight. And it's great to hear you talk. It's great to hear you talk about how special Wesley College is to you. It's great to hear you talk about your coaches. It's great to hear you talk about your teammates. It's great to hear you talk about how Wesley has impacted your life. You know, I was very fortunate to be inducted into my college Hall of Fame. I remember going back there and just walking into that room and like it's like a whirlwind of emotions. When you think about that time period when you were at that institution, you know, and it's very special. And it's just amazing to sit here and see you have that experience. Thank you so much, everybody. We hope you have a great weekend this year. Thank you and good night.